In this poem, the father gives lot of advice to his son. He implies that the workers are the basic foundation of the political, economic and social aspect of the society. So they imagined light as water and they started rowing the boat inside their room itself. When we read the history, we will be mentioning only the names of the king. Welcome dear students, I am Mrs. Reena, lecturer, Department of English at Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysuru. Today, in this session, let us revise the poetry, prose and language component of second semester BCom. So today, we will be revising all the poetry, that is the 5 poetry, then prose and the language component which we already read. So moving on to the poetry, the first poem which we read was Ulysses, that was written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. So Ulysses is a poem written in 1833 and published in 1842 in his well-received second volume of poetry. And it is a popular example of the dramatic monologue. Then, facing old age, mythical hero Ulysses describes his discontent and restlessness upon returning to Ithaca after his far-ranging travel. So here, as we know already, Ulysses, he returns to his kingdom, that is Ithaca, after a long journey. But being idle in this kingdom of Ithaca, he didn't like that life. He wanted to experience more things in his life. Though he was aged, he wanted to move on and he wanted to make more adventures in his life. He was not happy with the people of Ithaca who were not able to recognize his achievements. So despite of his reunion with his family members, he yearns to travel or explore again. Again, he plans to go for an exploration along with his fellow sailors. So here, before setting for a next journey, Ulysses, he surrenders or he gives the responsibility of his kingdom to his son, and then afterwards he sets for a new adventure. So here in this poem, he also shares his previous experience or previous adventures, how he fought in the war, everything he explains here. After that, giving his kingdom to his son, he moves on or he sets on to another journey. And the next poem is If, that was written by Rudyard Kipling, and the poem If is a poem of ultimate inspiration that tells us how to deal with different situations in life. Then the poet conveys his ideas about how to win this life and after all, how to be a good human being. So here in this poem, the poet gives, it's a conversation between a father and son. Here in this poem, the father gives lot of advice to his son and he advises to his son and he also explains him how to stay during the different situations in life. For example, the poet says his son to be calm when others complain about him and not to discuss about his failure with others and not to be overconfident. All these things, all the advices which are required for a happy life, the father gives to him. And he also says that there should be some determination to reach the ambition or aim. You have to work hard. And the poet asks the son to dream high, but not allow the dream to take hold of that. So he says that though it's our duty to dream high, but we have to achieve that or to achieve our goal or ambition, we have to strive for that. Then the poem was written in the year 1895 and it was first published in Rewards and Fairies in 1910. Next, the poem If is inspirational, motivational and a set of rules for grown-up living. So this poem is all about the advices or set of advice given by a father to his son, how to lead a good life. Next, poem 3 is Questions from a Worker Who Reads, that is written by Bertolt Brecht. And the poem Questions from a Worker Who Reads shows poet's limitless compassion towards the working class. So he implies that the workers are the basic foundation of the political, economic, and social aspect of the society. Then he argues that throughout history, the workers had labored to build forts, walls, and to win many wars. But the name or reputation for what was achieved was always given to the kings in our history. So here he speaks about many things, many places, many cities, many famous cities, and he speaks about many famous rulers like Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, and about their victory. The poet speaks about their victory, and also he speaks about the different wars won by them and the main wonders. For example, Great Wall of China, he speaks about that. So here he says, when during all these things, so there were a lot of achievements. When we read the history, we will be mentioning only the names of the kings for their achievements. But here he says that the kings did not achieve all these things alone, but there were so many members behind them, and the workers, especially the workers, the soldiers, all these people, there were so many men and women who helped them to achieve the greatest name or the reputation in the history. But here he says, or the poet complains that so many, the kings and the great people, they could achieve this only because of the workers or the laborers or the soldiers. Okay, the kings, they got the victory only because of the soldiers. They did not fight alone. So here poet is having a complaint saying that here only the names of the great men or the kings are mentioned in the history, but the names of the soldiers or the workers are not mentioned anywhere. And he at last says that the credit should go to everyone. So equally the credit should be shared with the workers and as well as the soldiers. Next is the poem 4, You Start Dying Slowly, that is by Pablo Neruda. And the poet in the poem talks about the beauty and importance of life. So he advises the readers to live a better, more and satisfying life. He shows the readers how to live their life beautifully, experiencing new things. So here the poet advises the people to explore more things in their life, not to stay in their own house every time. The poet is asking the people to come out of their house and explore the different things or the new things in their life. He is saying that life is short and we won't get much time to explore all the things in this world. So he is advising us to explore the things or move forward for an adventure in the life. So he's saying that without exploring the new things, we ourselves will be dying slowly. That is, we may be getting older, or else he's also saying that without enjoying the life, we may be dying mentally. Next, here again he encourages readers on how to chase their dreams. He is saying that as a human being, we should have some dreams and we have to work hard for achieving the dreams. And if we are afraid and do not pursue our thoughts, our reproductions can become meaningless and it is a good as dying slowly. He says that, so if we are afraid of doing different adventures or taking up some adventure in our life, or if we are afraid of exploring new things in our life will become meaningless And he says that it is as good as dying slowly. And the poem explains that there is a difference between living and existing. Next is the poem 5, that is We Are the TSB Banking Directors, written by Daryl Ashton. So here this poem is all about the new things. Means it's a trustee savings bank of Britain. So here the poet speaks about the bank employers and about their service towards the customers. So here We Are the TSB Banking Director poem is a famous poem written by Daryl Ashton, and it emphasizes on the importance of banking and with its usage on the digital platform. Nowadays, everything in the banking sector, there are a lot of difference comparing to the past and present. There is now it has become more digital. So here he explains about that, and it was seen that the bank faced a lot of chaos, that is confusion, after a recent change in its online platform. So almost everything is online nowadays. So while changing from the previous setting to the new setting, that is the online things, everything, there was a lot of confusion among the people here. So the trustee savings banks was one of the British financial institutions, and the poem also helps the readers to understand the ideas and thoughts of the poet in the banking sector. So here the poet explains how the employers of the bank, so that is how they are selfish. In the beginning, they say to the customer, they speak to the customer that we are for you and we are ready to work for you. But at the end, they, without informing the people, they sell their bank to another country for profit. And here, that time they will never bother about the customers. They say that they will inform and they will only look into their profit. They become selfish there and they make profit out of selling the bank to another bank, and they make profit and they will only look into their betterment of their own life. Next, let's move on to, let's revise the prose. So the first prose was A Deed of Bravery, that was written by Jim Corbett. So Jim Corbett's short story, it's a short story, A Deed of Bravery, deals with the heroic deeds of survival against all odds. And the two protagonists of the story, that is Harya and Narva, had to survive against a circumstance which seems all about too much of hardships. And to collect bamboos for basket making, so Harya and Narva, professionally they were basket makers, and to collect bamboos for basket making, they have to travel long distance on foot to the forest where tigers are frequent. So before collecting these bamboos, they had to take the license from the forest office. So when they were walking, when they were on the way to collect the license, suddenly Narva was attacked by the tiger and he was lacerated by the tiger. His shoulders were broken and he was completely lacerated by the tiger. So Harya was walking in front of him and Narva was following behind him. Suddenly he heard a sound and Harya looked back. Okay, that time he saw his friend lying down and tiger lying down on the floor and a tiger staying diagonally on him. So suddenly Harya heroically, so like an hero, he entered and he pulled Narva and he escaped Narva from the attack of tiger. So after that, in one of such journey, Narva get attacked by a tiger and Harya saves him with extreme bravery. And next comes Narva's fight against odds to survive after the tiger attack. So somehow when Narva was attacked by the tiger, Harya helped him, or Harya saved him from the tiger's attack, and afterwards he was completely collapsed, or Narva was completely attacked, wounded by the attack of tiger. And here this story speaks about the bravery act of Harya, who saved his friend from the attack of tiger, and also it speaks about Narva's bravery, or how he was able to bear all that pain and how he could survive after that. So Jim Corbett found this story an act of great bravery. So after that, Jim Corbett, he wanted the government of Uttarakhand to recognize the bravery act of Arya and Narva, but as there was no much evidence for this, it was rejected. So next is about Light is Like Water. It was written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So Marquez' Light is Like Water, along with other 12 short stories, was published in Strange Pilgrims, and it is one of his exquisite short stories in which he customized self-reflexivity, narrative fragmentation, play with formal devices and realism, so playfulness and imagination to suit himself as a postmodernist writer. So here he uses so many things like the household objects that are used, such as dishes, spoons, dinner tables, ashtrays, toothpaste, etc., shows the features of postmodern literature. So he plays with those formal devices and realism for magical actions. So this short story, or this story, is about two boys, that is Toto and Joel. So these two boys, they were very good in their academics, and they asked their parents for some gift or reward after their each achievements. So inspired by the achievements, or greatly overwhelmed with the achievements of their children, the parents used to present them whatever they asked. So they were living in Madrid, where there was no river or ocean. So here the children ask for a gift, that is a rowboat, and usually every Wednesday the parents go for a movie, and during that time these two boys were the lords or of that house, and using that boat they used to broke out the bulb, and as there was no water in that place, or ocean or river, to row the boat, so they imagined light as water, and they started rowing the boat inside their room itself. Next, prose 3, that is lesson my father taught me, written by APJ Abdul Kalam. So it's a short essay written by APJ Abdul Kalam. So here he narrates an incident from his childhood in Rameshwaram when he was 10 years old. Okay, and this incident took place on the day when his father was elected as the president of Rameshwaram Panchayat Board. So when he was 10 years old, and in the evening when he was studying, when Abdul Kalam was studying, a stranger enters into his house, and he asked for his father. The stranger asked for his father, and that time he says that my father is not here. He had been to the mosque. He had gone to for the prayer or namaz, he says. So, and the stranger says that that I have brought something to your father. And Abdul Kalam says the stranger to place that on the cord there, and when his father returned from the prayer, he saw the gift which was kept there, and Abdul Kalam's father was angry with Abdul Kalam, and he scolded him for accepting the gift, and his father advised him not to accept the gift like that. So gift as a reward for your duties. So here he explains about that. Abdul Kalam explains, and he says that unnecessarily we should not accept any gift from others. And he says that this incident made him to realize, and he followed the same things throughout his life. Next is about the language component. In language component, first we learned about punctuation. Punctuation means it's the different signs like question mark, capitalization, full stop, comma, all these things are punctuation marks. So let's look into a few examples. Did you post the letter? So did, when we start the sentence, it should be in capital letter, and it's a question, so we should end it with a question mark. Alas, she has failed in the examination, the man said. So it's a direct speech, so it should be in inverted commas. And also alas is a exclamatory. Alas expresses the sudden feeling, so we have to put the exclamation mark, then after the sentence comma, and at the end full stop. Next, reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So reading maketh a full man, then semicolon, then conference a ready man, again semicolon, writing an exact man. So here full stop. And next language component was framing questions, and we know that there are two types of question, that is WH question and yes or no type question. So here 30 passengers survived the crash. They will give the question like this: 30 passengers survived the crash. So you have to convert that into question. How many passengers survived the crash? Next one, the express bus goes to Agra. Which bus goes to Agra? Yes, they reached Delhi. Did they reach Delhi? Next is linkers. Linkers, as we all know, linkers are also known as the conjunctions, or linkers are the words which join two words or sentences together. So, man proposes, but God disposes. So, here the word but is joining this and making a meaningful sentence here. So, finish your exercise or else you will not be allowed to play. So, here or else is the linker word. Though Tom has a new bicycle, he can't ride it. Though is a linker here. We cannot play cricket unless we find the ball. So, unless is the linker word. We were afraid of them, so we ran away. So, here, so is the linker word. And one more language component which we read was reading comprehension. So, a passage will be given to you and you have to go through that, understand the meaning of that context, and then you have to answer the questions given below. Hope you all understood all the 5 poems and 3 prose and the language component. Once again, you have to read the book or read the textbook properly and then go through all the summaries, and it will help you for your examinations. Thank you all.